Hey guys, Jerry here, and welcome to yet another quick update on the next GregTech pack. Yes, I know it's taking a while, and yes, I know I have been very much off the like not really being very active on YouTube lately. That has a very big part to do with me being, or having been at least, rather sick. Um, I caught the flu here over New Year's, or just before New Year's, and I've just barely got my voice back now. So yeah, I'm starting to get into it again. But since I have a lot less time now than before, video frequency might decrease a bit permanently. But we'll see. Like it really depends whether I find the proper recording mood. So what you're looking at right now is the realistic world generation mod put into my GregTech pack. Now, the reason we're looking at this is because I feel like it provides some rather interesting terrain, quite a bit different than what Biomes O' Plenty by itself gives. It also blends the biomes a bit better. But the main thing I'm really looking for here is actually whether the Millionaire mod will even attempt to generate in this world generation. I don't know if that's the case. As you can see, I've explored a bit here so far, and right now I'm coming across, there's a vanilla village there, and there's another one over here. So I'm sort of getting the feeling that maybe this doesn't actually work together with Millionaire, in which case I'm gonna have to make a hard choice. Let's just quickly have a look at these villages and see what's going on. Now this right here is not too pretty. Like, I think there's a chunk border there, but that's, again, it's not too bad. It's just the meteor looking a bit odd. And right now the world generation is absolutely tanking. Not quite sure what's happening here. But at least Growthcraft seems to be working fine. It's generating its vines and such on villages, so that's something at least. Formcraft and the... yeah, Formcraft seems to be working as well with these guys playing along over here. Railcraft added these new buildings here, which for all intents and purposes are kind of overpowered because they have this and this, which are two machines that would require quite a bit of steam and steel and such to produce in GregTech. So I'm wondering whether I should keep these buildings in. But on the other hand, GregTech is very slow paced, and in order to, make a series that actually advances at a decent pace for YouTube, it could potentially be necessary for me to keep them in, just so I have at least another avenue of, progression. Now there is something over here, little brown square. I don't know if that's a witchery hut. Okay, that's witchery. So still no signs of Millionaire stuff. This exploration thing here could take a while, but I just wanted to, give you guys a little view into what I've been working on. Like, I haven't really been working much on it. I've mostly been focusing on getting healthy again. And another thing that's happened to me recently is that here from the new year, I actually have a job. I've been unemployed for about a year now, and I finally managed to land myself a job here, which means that my spare time has taken a dramatic fall, which again might end up affecting these videos, or it might end up that I actually enjoy making videos so much that I use it as a way to cool off after work. We'll see. Right now I haven't been able to make that determination yet, mainly because of me being ill. So all the recording I've done basically since New Year's has been either with Traff for Technothermocraft or with Buddha for Blood and Bones, because I felt like I needed some sort of backup in case I needed to take a break to cough, and then someone else could fill the space. So that's the reason I've been focusing on the multiplayer aspects. And you can even hear now that my voice is starting to go away now. Hold on for a moment. Yeah, it's still not quite good for solo commentary. Like, my voice disappears rather rapidly. So, initial thoughts about this world generation? I like it, but Millionaire does not seem to work at all. Like, normally with Millionaire and the way that it's been, like, I know it is here because I can do this and it shows up, but from what I can tell, like, it doesn't actually know how to generate villages in these biomes. There is something up there though. What's that? Could that be? Could it be? That is indeed a Millionaire tower. That's positive. That's something. But, alright, so we have a tower here. And he buys bread and wine. Interesting. Alright, so the towers. Single structures can generate. Now the question is whether a village can generate. I am not satisfied until I find an actual honest-to-God village, but I will say that this just made this world generation a lot more realistic for me to use. Biome size seems about right for what I really like. You know, they're big enough that you can completely contain a build within, but they're also small enough that you can actually, you know, feasibly reach somewhere else within without spending too much time on it. So this is interesting right here, one of these skystone things with lava around it. Not too often I see that. Anyway, still looking for the Millionaire village. So what else can I talk about? Yes, in terms of content on my channel, like that really it should be the focus of this this little chat here, and it's also what I want to focus on. So let's talk a bit more about that. Now, content for me doesn't come as easily because I feel like whenever I sit down to record, I need to have something worth saying. I need to have something worth showing. Otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting your time. That's also why I try to, whenever I do a recording session, I try to prepare a bunch of stuff. There we go. That's a village. I try to prepare a bunch of stuff so that the recording session can progress and move from item to item without, you know, long lulls of nothing being there. That's a bit harder in Terra Firma Craft than it is in Blood and Bones, but I sort of feel like we're succeeding all right with that. Trav is doing the editing. He's had a lot of trouble with his hardware and software setup recently, like driver updates and stuff that just basically makes it impossible for him to know if his recording is going to be any good. So a lot of the content you've seen recently has been my point of view only, and I'm hoping you guys aren't too sad about that. I can imagine those on my channel don't really care too much because, you know, they're used to watching my point of view, so it makes sense that that should also be my point of view. But yeah, we'll see. Like, Terra Firma Craft seems to be doing all right. There has been a major change to the mod pack recently that we have not yet implemented ourselves. Basically, I looked at forum and then saw there was like a ton of posts regarding the new update and why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that, and that just puts me off on updating. So for now, we'll stick with what we have. Let's see, we also have the Doom-like dungeon here, so that works as well. That's nice. Alright, so that looks as though every single mod we have in here works. Now, I still need to update a couple of them, but I think, judging from the fact that Millionaire works on this, actually, and, I know I'm jumping from stuff to stuff, but whatever. Judging from the fact that Millionaire works, and it looks as though everything else works, I think I'm gonna do one last update to all the mods, like get Farmcraft and Forestry and whatever it is that might have been updated, get that up to scratch as it is right now, and then basically say, okay, so we'll start with this and we'll commit to this. Because I want to get this new series started. I want to have something that I can do solo. I am probably going to bring Buddha along for part of the new season. Buddha is very competent when it comes to GregTech. Like, he hasn't really been watching my stuff, but I've been playing with him while testing out GregTech 5 and such. So he would have a lot to contribute, and it would make the early game quite a bit quicker to have two people advancing through it. So that's probably going to happen. Anyway, Terra Firma Craft is going to stay with the mod pack as it is right now for a while. We're still doing vanilla Terra Firma Craft, so until that stage is really over and we start getting into some sort of endgame, then it doesn't really matter what endgame mods we have. So there's that. And before anyone else starts mentioning this, yes, I do realize that GregTech would make a lot of sense to put at the end of Terraforming Craft. I'm not gonna combine them myself because I know for a fact that it's gonna be pretty fantastic in terms of immersion and such in game world. It's also gonna be a mod pack that takes 5 hours to do what vanilla Minecraft takes 2 minutes to do. That's too much. That's too much. So we'll leave that out. In terms of stuff that is not Minecraft, actually, let me just quickly touch upon Blood and Bones. Me and Buddha greatly enjoy playing Blood and Bones, so that's not going anywhere anytime soon. I hope you guys still enjoy watching it. We are making good progress there. Maybe not as much in terms of the actual tech tree in the game, but we're definitely making good progress on our base and the infrastructure around it right now, which will allow us to do much more with the stuff in game, with the tech tree. Now, I've also been following Traft's series, and he just made it, as of this recording, to the Promised Land. And it looks as though there is no magical minerals there at all. Which strikes me as rather odd, because that puts me at a complete loss as how to obtain these mythical magical minerals. So I think me and Buddha, we have another session recorded that doesn't touch upon the gems and the stuff there, so that's gonna go out, and then hopefully I'll manage to get in touch with Trav and hear whether his trip to the Promised Land actually gave him the magical stuff or not, because if it didn't, then there's no reason at all for me and Buddha to focus on getting there, and instead we'll have to figure out how to get them otherwise. So yeah, that's gonna be a bit of behind the scenes info to you guys. Like, we do talk about the stuff we do internally. So we found one village, but that's only one. Not really a lot, is it? Okay, so on to stuff that is not Minecraft. I don't have any, honestly. There was, for a time before Christmas, back in, I think, November, I spent about 4 hours recording and re-recording Theme Hospital. And none of the recordings worked. So that sucked. That sucked really badly. And I just don't feel like I can, provide the same level of commentary as I've already done 3 times in it. Like, each time has been slightly different, but I think the 4th time will just be me being really annoyed with the fact that I'm not even sure it's gonna work. So yeah, I was gonna play that, but I was gonna play it. I did play it, but the recording didn't work. So screw that. Now, in terms of other games I've looked at, I've seriously considered the old game Constructor from Acclaim Studios. It came out in like 95-ish, thereabouts, for DOS mainly, with a Windows component. And it's about a lot of things, but basically you are an entrepreneur in charge of developing a neighborhood in a town. But you're also competing with other entrepreneurs, and you have it has this really, really goofy humor, very much like Theme Hospital, actually, in sort of the same way. But the game is hard as balls. It really is. I'm having a really tough time learning it again. Like, I never really learned it in the first place, but I feel like I've made progress more now than I had last time. And I feel like I might do a short one-off series on that. That'll be 3 or 4 episodes worth, and then I'll get defeated by the game because the game is so fucking hard. I don't swear too much, but when I do swear, I mean it. So that game is hard as balls, even on the easiest difficulty. What else have I been spending time on? I've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous. Elite is a very, very fun game. For what it's worth, like it's a very much a very, very nice framework as it is in its current state. Like, it's missing a bunch of stuff. I am gonna do a video on this. That's probably also gonna be together with Buddha because he plays it with me. So we'll do a video together, showing off the game, talking a bit about it, making sure that we get a proper broad perspective on what the game actually has to offer. And I think that'll be very enjoyable. But that's what else have I been playing? I've been playing Wasteland 2, Now, my original Fallout series didn't do too well, and I think that's in large part to do with me basically not role-playing a lot while recording it. Like, I was more focused on the mechanics, focused on, trying to get through the game. And in hindsight, I realized that that's not really the way I should have done that in order to, catch people's attention. But I'm not gonna do Wasteland 2. I've played through about half the story solo now, and I'm enjoying it a lot. But I don't think the game is as watchable as it is playable. Like, it's way more playable than it's watchable. What else do I have? I've been playing a bit of Hearthstone. Not gonna record that. Everyone else does that. It's kind of lost its charm by now. Also, I'm not hugely into it. It's alright, but I'm not hugely into it. Pharaoh, I still haven't decided anything regarding. Again, it would be fun to try and check out the expansion and see what extra stuff was actually there, but the thing is, if the extra stuff is just like more industries and such, then we could just play another mission from the base game, and it would pretty much be the same, because there's a lot of missions there that we didn't touch upon. Like, all this area and only one millionaire village, that's quite impressive. It also appears that there is... Like, I'm not quite sure if there is some sort of, temperature gradient going across this world. Like, this is Maple Woods, which is kind of a cold area, and then you go up here, and you have a desert right there, and you have an oasis right there, that's a hot area, and then immediately on the other side you have another cold area. So, yeah, it doesn't look as though there's much in terms of the temperature gradient that you saw in ATG, but I do like that you have, much more natural curvature of the landscape, while still having some impressively big mountains, like actually big mountains, and not just the vertical hills that you see in Bound of Plenty. So yeah, let's see, anything else? Star Citizen would be a lot of fun to do as well once it actually turns into a game, but that's scheduled for sometime late 2015, if I recall correctly. Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, they're kind of, the same genre, same deal, and yet they are very, very different, from what I can tell. Like, Elite has a much narrower focus, as far as I can tell, which also has allowed it to actually be developed for a smaller budget, but also be released by now. But, yeah, like, it has very fun combat, very fun mechanics, but it still lacks a bit in the actual stuff to do department. Star Citizen, I think at launch will be much the same. Like, it'll have a big world to explore, or rather a big universe to explore, would be more accurate. But I'm worried about the amount of stuff that'll actually be there to do. Like, will it have, big epic battles against capital ships? Will it have proper multiplayer components? Like, Elite Dangerous is also an online game, but for instance, you can't team up with players really well, so that's a bit of an oddity. It's a solo game in an online world, so yeah, lots of oddities there. Anything else that I've wondered about, talked about, mentioned? I don't think so. Banished is starting to have a lot of mod expansions, so that might actually be worth revisiting if you guys are interested in that. I don't think Factorio is quite there yet in terms of having enough new content to warrant a revisit. OpenTTD very much follows the same trend as it always has, like being true to the original game. So that means like not a lot of stuff is going to change there. So I don't know if OpenTTD will sort of ever warrant a replay unless I can somehow set up a multiplayer collaboration with that. But that would require me finding someone else about the same skill level as me, who also, has decent recording setup. But yeah, it might work, it might not work, I don't know. It's a lot of time setting up things with people, especially considering time zones and such. Like, the Let's Playing community and the Let's Playing world, like, it's very much centered around America. Now, just a couple of random facts here. About half my viewership is from America. That's, in my opinion, I consider that quite impressive that it's only half. That I've managed to appeal enough to an international community of players that the Americans among you are not completely outnumbering everyone else to the same degree as I've seen other places. So I'm quite happy about that. So if you're sitting out there in, anywhere else than America, be proud that you are actually among the few people from whatever country that actually watches Let's Plays. Like, it's quite rare outside America. It's really, really, really odd. But the Google Analytics, I don't think they're lying, at least. So shout out to the entire world, of course. But yeah, big thanks to America for being my main part, but also big thanks to countries like England, Germany. I'm just mentioning a couple here. Ireland. It's just on the top of my head. I can't remember quite where all of you guys are. But big shout out to you guys. And thanks a bunch for actually watching my content and participating with it. As always, I love it when you guys comment and actually participate in what we're doing, even if it's just, haha, I love that moment at 6 minutes and 25 seconds or whatever it is, but, that's what really makes all the difference. And over this last period, I think that's in part why I'm being a bit slow at returning to it. I haven't really seen a lot of comments lately. Please remember to, participate in the stuff you're watching. And yes, I know that if for you to comment, you need new videos to watch as well. But yeah, it's an evil circle here. You don't comment, I don't make videos. Nobody's happy. That's meh. We'll figure it out together. You and me, internet. You and me. We'll figure it out. And then hopefully, once I get all these mods updated and tested just a wee bit more. By the way, how did it go with the previous version of the GregTech pack that you guys tested? Did any of you actually try it out? I would love to hear some feedback from that. Yes, I know, I realize I'm changing a lot. I'm not changing what mods are in except for the realistic world generation. So any sort of feedback you have in regards to how the mods play together and act together and such is very much welcome. So yeah, I think that's it. Like, I've been rambling on for a while now, my voice starting to go again, so I think I'm gonna call it here, and then hopefully, yeah, pretty soon we can start the new season of GregTech. It's gonna be good to get a solo series going on again, solo Minecraft in particular. Like, Minecraft is my main game, I love that game. And I think I've been far enough away from it for long enough now that I could actually, focus a bit on a new series. It's just like, the old GregTech is done. Don't hold your breath waiting for more stuff there. I can't continue it. I don't know what it is. There's just like this big mental blockage in there preventing me from going back to it. So that also means that, contrary to my previously released statements, I am gonna be starting anew in this version. It will be a fresh start. It will not be completely fresh, as in, I will probably, maybe, no, it'll be a fresh start, but I will do like I did before. There will be a prologue where I maybe bring along Buddha, and we set up, the basics of a base, and then we'll start the series off at a point where, we can actually get right to some of the interesting stuff rather than just punching trees. So I will probably record and release the punching tree part as well, but it'll be separated out into a prologue like we've done before. Just so, it won't be as much of a hassle to start out the series for new viewers. So consider the prologue completely optional. Of course, I'd love it if you watch it, but you won't need to watch it in order to get what's going to be happening in the real series. It's just going to be, if you want, first look at where the base is going to be set up, a first look at the architecture we're going to be using, or maybe some hints and tips about building, whatnot. That's going to be in there, and then the main series will focus on, GregTech stuff and mod stuff in general. And then I think what I might do differently with GregTech Season 2 rather than contrary to the first one is whenever I build something new, I might actually record it and then potentially do a post commentary, but it'll be something like first person perspective. I don't want to set up two computers in order to record and play and such. That's what I normally do for the time lapse, but that's a lot of work, and unless I have, you know, a time lapse specifically planned out, it's a bit more hassle than I'm willing to go through. But yeah, we'll see. But I did have some requests from you guys about, you know, seeing a bit more of the actual building process, so that might just happen. But the exacts about how it's gonna be done, that's a bit up in the air right now. Anyway, I've been rambling enough for now. I think you guys deserve a break, and I think my voice deserves a break as well. So I will see you guys sometime in the future in one of the other series, or in GregTech if you don't watch anything else. But that's really, again, that's up to you. So until next time, I'm Jerry. This has been a little channel update thing, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.